Hey, Cowboys Nation. Welcome back. My name is Rika. I'm a Cowboys fan and I'm highly disgruntled. Tonight on the show, as always, my co host, my bestie, my biggest sweetheart, Mr. Charlie Moffat, and our special guest tonight from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Mr. Cesar Lucero.
Let's fucking go.
Yes. Hey guys, listen
He
up.
fit right in within the first 5 seconds. That was
Hey,
awesome.
it's uncensored, so
That was awesome. Go ahead, Rock.
You're good. Hey, listen up, guys. If you haven't already, do us a favor, hit that like button. If you hate Charlie, hit the dislike. Go ahead. It's not going to offend him. And if this is your first time here or your second time here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, get notified every single time I go live.
Where's the mashed potatoes? Where's the cranberry sauce? Where's the pumpkin pie?
It's Thanksgiving week. All right, guys, real quick, you know the drill before we get down to business. TwistedGorilla.com has the best t shirts online. They've got funny shirts, they've got sarcastic shirts, but most importantly, kids, they've got Cowboys shirts. So head to TwistedGorilla.com. Let them know that you're a fan of Rika, that you're a fan of the Cowboys, and that you hate Charlie, and save 15% at checkout when you use coupon code Rika15. That website and that coupon code are in the ticker right down there, right down there, right down there. All right. Tonight in the chat, DeLunatic, thank you for joining us. And Stephen White, as always, good to see you, my guy. Caesar, let's say, before we get into this Cowboys business, tell us about you. Tell these people what you got going.
I'm Cesar Lucero, aka Coach C's. I used to be a high school football coach back in the day, and when I was in high school, when I graduated 2006. So, you guys want me to tell the whole story now, or
Yeah, go
Go with
ahead.
it,
Let's
bub.
do
Yeah,
go
it.
for
We
it?
want
All
to
yeah.
hear
right,
We
about
got
you.
plenty of time.
let's jump right in then. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so let me go back when I was born. So I was born with a rare disease called osteogenesis imperfecta. It's a brittle bone disease that allows my bones to break very easily. Doctors didn't really know if I was able to live more than 6 days. So parents didn't really listen to them, and 35 years later, I'm still here. So throughout my lifetime, I've broken over 150 bones, and I've had over 15 surgeries. And life was never easy for me. I was born in New Mexico. I lived in California from the age of 2 to 6, and ended up moving to South Florida 2 weeks before Hurricane Andrew hit. So, like I was saying before the show started, we kind of wanted to get away from earthquakes, and we ended up following the hurricanes. So it was kind of crazy. I still remember it to this day when Andrew hit. Like, that was the most scariest thing I could ever have witnessed and stuff. Just so much catastrophic. Especially back in those days. People weren't really prepared for that, and but thank God we made it through that, and we are we're here today. But growing up, like I said, I've broken over several bones. And one of the things that helped me get through that was sports. I'm a big sports fanatic. I love hockey, baseball, football, basketball, any sport. Um, and I guess every time I would break a bone, I would end up being bedbound. So wasn't able to move. So the only thing that get me through the day was watch sports or read a sports book. Anything sports related, I was wanted to do. Play video games, batting, NHL, anything like that, sports related. I wanted to get my hands on. One of my biggest inspirations was Vince Lombardi. People are like, "So why aren't you a Packer fan?" I was like, "That's a very good question." But I ended up loving one of his quotes, and one of his quotes was, "Confidence is contagious, and so is a lack of confidence." And a customer can see both. So I was like, you know what? If I show confidence in myself, then that'll lead to other people being more confident in themselves. So that's always been my go-to. I've always had faith. My parents have always been there to support me and everything I want to do. They've never limited me to doing what I've wanted to do. So when I was a kid, I would actually go out and do just normal kid things. Um, if I would break a bone, then my dad's like, it's part of life. It's something you're gonna have to deal with. But you know your limitations, so just make sure you know what you can and what you can't do. I played football. I would always play two-hand touch. I was always a quarterback with my friends and stuff. Troy Aikman was one of my biggest idols. He's actually one of the reasons why I became a Cowboy fan. Back in 1997, I believe, 2 years after he won the Super Bowl, I wrote him, Emmett Smith, and Deion Sanders a letter. He was the only player to send me a whole bunch of autograph stuff back.
Oh shit.
Wow.
So, that was like, that really touched me as a young kid and a young fan. I was like, okay, so I'm going to stick with this team, and this is definitely going to be my team. And ever since that, I've been a big fan. I haven't met Troy Aikman yet. That's still on my bucket list, but I still remember that since until the day I die. So he's been a big inspiration to me. Um, if you guys go to my website, there's a video on there that shows a little bit of my backstory, and you guys can see that Deion Sanders was actually also one of my idols, which is why I became a Braves fan. Um, him, he would play baseball and football, and since he would play with the Atlanta Braves and also with the Cowboys, I thought that was really cool. Um, so in high school, so getting into coaching, I've always wanted to be involved in sports. I didn't know how. I didn't know if I wanted to be a manager or when I grew up or do something be or financially or something in the finances of sports or I didn't know what I wanted to get into. So I remember one day I rolled into my teacher's classroom and he's like, what do you want to do in life? What do you want to pursue? I'm like, I'm really like passionate in sports and that's something I really think I want to pursue. And he goes, so why don't you help with the football team? I'm like, you think I could actually do that? He goes, roll your ass over there. He literally said that. He's like, roll your ass to his office and ask him to be part of the team. Ask him if you can help out. So yeah, so I ended up rolling my ass over there, and I asked him if I can do anything to help out with the team, equipment manager, do something, get involved, since I wasn't able to play the sport physically. And he's like, yeah, yeah. Right now the season hasn't started, but next year we'll have 2 days during summer. Practices start at 7 in the morning. You don't have to get here till like 8, so don't worry about it, bro. When I first got there, I was there at 6 a.m. before all the coaches because I wanted to show them that um, I wanted to be more than just a coach. I wanted to be an inspiration to the team. I wanted to show them that, you know, just because I'm disabled doesn't mean that I can't do anything. So that doesn't give you guys an excuse to slack. So, the coaches were really surprised. They're like, shit, I'm the head coach and you're here before me. So he was really inspired by that. And ever since that, we took off and we became really close as a coaches group, and that was probably one of the best moments of my life. Coaching football, I coached for 4 years. A year after I graduated high school, and then my dad kind of got sick, so I had to take care of him for the next 10, 15 years, and he finally passed away 2 years ago. And I've been just I've been a teacher assistant at a high school, so I teach a lot of kids that are um, basically about to drop out or need to catch up on credits. So I'm able to help them from making bad choices to correcting themselves and making better choices on their own. So my goal is to eventually get my bachelor's degree in physical education, and who knows, maybe start coaching again.
Absolutely amazing, Caesar.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you so much. Thank you for telling us all of that. That's just your story is just amazing. So when
I
Charlie told
really
I'll,
me,
appreciate it.
yeah,
I'll
when
put
Charlie
his link.
directed me to your website, I was like, I got to get this guy
Yeah.
on and I got to get him on for Thanksgiving. So
Yeah,
thank
I
you so
put his
much for
link for
coming on.
y'all into the chat. That's his link. Go watch
Yes.
his video. And like I told Rika when I shared it with Rika, I said, anybody who watches this video and they're not fucking inspired, you're fucking empty inside. Because there's no reason for anybody not to be inspired by his backstory at all.
Thank you,
And his
bro.
in his
Thank
in his
Absolutely.
present story, not just backstory, his present story, but just go check it out and share this video. And tell them they don't want to watch this. Fine, at least watch the first 10 minutes of it and see what he's saying.
Yeah,
Yes.
man. It's definitely something that a lot of us, with mental health and all that stuff, that's why I really support Dak Prescott and his message, and with a lot of these players. I know Calvin Ridley's dealing with it right now and stuff like that. So just because you're a big, huge sports athlete doesn't mean you're going through some shit. Everybody's going through something. Don't be afraid to talk to anybody about it. We all have something um, that we have to, sometimes lash out. Not everybody's perfect.
Yeah, like I said, when I watched it, I was immediately inspired, and I messaged Rika said we got to get this dude on. I was like, "Is like I said, I have a little bit of backstory, but it's nothing fucking even like I have a friend that's in a situation like yours, and he fucking inspired me through my shit by just sending me one message. He just sent me one message, "Hey, dude, keep in there, keep your head up." And I'm like, if this fucker can message me with this, because
Right.
we was friends in high school. I used to take him to lunch early. He'd get to go to get out of school, not out of school, but out of class early, so we get him through the lunch line.
That's
And
what my
so,
friends used to do.
yeah, so I've known
That's
him.
why they would always hang out with me. They're like, "You get out of class early, right?"
Well, he actually picked me. He sat beside me, and the first day of school, he said, "Hey, you want to take me to lunch?" I was like, "Yeah, fuck, let's go." And then I got to go every day. But my school was so big. Once we got to our sophomore year, junior, senior year, I barely rarely saw him because it was a massive school. We had 700 kids in one class. So what, 22,000 kids overall. So it
Right.
was a lot of times I got to see him our sophomore, junior, senior year. But yeah, no, like I said, he's a big metalhead fan. I'm a metalhead fan. So
Nice.
he's always on Facebook with this fucking metal sign with backstage with different fucking metal bands, always smiling. And I was like, Jesus Christ. I was going through my shit, laid up in a hospital bed, feeling sorry for myself and fucking hating everything. And I'm like, man, you fucking stop being a puss, man, and fucking get up and do something. So yeah, no, you're 100% inspiration to everybody, dude. And like I said, if you're not, then they're fucking empty inside. So fuck them
Hey,
in the neck, anyways.
if I can just inspire one person, then I believe I've done my job. We're all put here on this earth for a reason. Sometimes we don't know what it is for, and sometimes we got to find our way through it. But I'm truly blessed to have the friends that I have. They treat me like any other person. They don't treat me disabled. Like I said, like I was talking to you on Twitter the other day. Shit, I was drinking with my friend at a hockey game. I was pissed ass drunk. My friends had to roll me back home. So, but yeah, so they treat me just as any normal human being and stuff, and that's all I can ask for. It's to be treated normal, and you know and just be an inspiration to somebody.
That's good, man. You got some people inspired already. You got the lunatic, which is I call him the podcast hooker because he loves podcasts and shows. He's one of the best cowboy, but he's one of the best cowboy coaches.
Doctors.
Yeah,
Super great
The
guy.
lunatic.
he's
That's
super great
awesome,
guy.
bro.
He's
That's
yeah,
awesome.
he supports us, give us giveaways, uh, buy shirts and jerseys and gives away on our
Awesome.
show. So yeah, he's a fucking great
Thanks for the
fan.
support, bro, man.
But yeah, he says fuck
Appreciate
the
it, bro.
doctors, can't measure T, fucking a person, heart and will. Stephen
Yep.
White tells you good job, coach. The lunatic
Thanks, bro.
again. This is already time well spent with coach. Uh, Andrea, I can't pronounce her last name, sweetheart. I'm not going to try to hammer your name, but hello, Caesar.
Andrea.
There you
Andrea.
go. And yeah,
Andrea.
and she says she loves you.
I love you too.
Stephen White, thank you, coach. You rock. But yeah, that's
That's
a good
awesome.
story, man.
That's really cool.
Rush
Um,
Turner, again, thank you, Caesar. Uh,
awesome.
Wonderful time for Thanksgiving. There you go. So
Yep.
there you go, man.
All
right.
right, guys, before we get into this Cowboys football, because we got some things to talk about. Dak is pissed. I'm pissed. Cowboys Nation is pissed. But real quick, before we do that, let's don't forget that the month of November on DCU is giveaway time. All right, we've got a share to win giveaway going on, guys. Very prizes, all very generously donated by our guy, the Lunatic. Make sure to tell him thank you in the chat during the month of November. Share this show, share any show on Dallas Cowboys Uncensored. It can be my show, DCU, Charlie's little stupid videos he makes, keeping up with the Joneses, whatever you want to share it on social media. Tag me at Chains Moving on Twitter or Rika Moves the Chains on Facebook. Every time you tag me and share a video, you get entered to win a t shirt of your choice from twistedgorilla.com. And don't forget, guys, Twisted Gorilla has the best t shirts online. They've got funny shirts, sarcastic shirts, and they've got cowboy shirts. And you can save 15% at checkout when you let them know that you're a fan of this show and use coupon code RIKA15. The website, the giveaway details, and the coupon code all in the ticker right down there. Along with Caesar's information, you can go check out his website and make sure to give him a follow on Twitter. He's a great follow. Got some good stuff going on over there. So, Chris Jones gave us the business. All right, let's just say it. Chris Jones whipped our ass on Sunday. Let's talk about this O line. Caesar, my guy, what do you got for me?
Wow. He even kicked Zach Martin, the president's ass. I mean,
Thank
we,
you.
we don't even see that happen very often. I mean,
Right?
I guarantee you, if Tyron Smith was lining up, he probably would have kicked his ass too. Um, I was honestly shocked. Now I know everybody wanted Connor McGovern in there as the left guard, but I thought they should have kept Connor Williams because he's been playing with Terrence Steele and Biotis this whole season. And since Tyron Smith wasn't going to be in there, I thought it was going to be a little bit messy to change that up, especially when you don't have a veteran like Tyron Smith, one of the best left tackles in the league, to help you out. And it showed. And it showed that he got bullied more than once. And it wasn't just him. The whole O line was just not cohesive, and you kind of saw it from the beginning. And I think it affected the running game, and definitely affected the passing game.
Right. See, and I see what you're getting at there because I talked a little bit about this last Saturday night on Keeping Up with the Joneses. I felt this way too. I didn't mind bringing in McGovern, not because I think Connor Williams is a bad player, but because Connor Williams has a target on him. Refs are looking at him now. It's too out there. It's too noticeable. Bring in Connor McGovern, but for this game without Tyron Smith, I didn't know if that was a great idea. I'm gonna feel better, and I feel like Tyron Smith will play on Thursday I'm going to feel better when you've got 77 and then you've got McGovern, then Biotish. Then I think that's going to be easier. It's going to be easier going on McGovern anyway. And he didn't do a horrible job. He really didn't. I mean, yeah, he got beat more than once, but considering what everybody else did and considering how good Chris Jones got us, even getting Zach Martin multiple times, I'm not going to be really mad at Connor McGovern for that. He didn't do any worse than anybody else did on that line. So, if you wanted to watch some tape on that, a few hours ago, here on YouTube, Big Game James dropped some tape on that and a breakdown, and it was really good. It's about a 10-minute video after you're done with this show, after you're done with Rika's show, after Rika moves the chains. Then go check out Big Game James. He's got some good stuff on there. I liked that. So, Charlie, what about you? What do you think?
I said Saturday. I didn't like the move of McGovern to the guard in the first place. I liked it better than everybody idea of moving Collins to left guard. But I just did think, like me and Bluff was saying, you have 70 plays a game, 60 plays a game, however many we have a game. And Connor Williams was making 2 bad plays a game. That's what he was doing. I'm sorry. I'll take the 68 plays, then hoping the other guys are going to match his play, his X's and O's plays, his down play, and not get the 2 penalties a game. That's a big ass. It's a big ass for somebody who played right guard and has not played left guard. I know people assume that just playing one side of the ball just means you can play the other side of the ball. Me and Bluff has discussed this. It's not the fucking same. It's a balance issue. It's a punch hand issue. It's a first foot drop issue. It's a different side of the ball. Only thing I could tell people is put your hand in the dirt and move to the right, and then put your hand in the dirt and move to the left, and tell me it feels the same. Most people can't do it. It's repetition. It takes time. It's just not something you can throw the motherfucker in there and say, hey, 3 days later, you're going to go against Chris Jones and some couple other guys. It's just not easy. And I'm a Big Mac fan. I'm a Big Mac fan. You know, I just didn't think it was a good idea. With that said, I don't know if Connor Williams could have done any better. I do think that my biggest worry, and you saw it on multiple plays because they blitzed the shit out of us, communication. He has not communicated with the center all year. He has not communicated with Steele. And the only thing Steele only been on there 2 games. So you also got to remember that too. Communication is going to be an issue. And when communication falls on one side, it falls on the other side. Because the other side is going to be hampered by bad communication on the left side. There's not a fucking position group out there that need more cohesiveness than the offensive line. They got to have all 5 of them. Because if one dude fucks up, the whole bunch looks like dumbasses. Yeah. I think we probably, I don't want to say panic, but I thought there was a better time to try that McGovern thing than it was against Kansas City. Maybe try, against Washington when you got 10 days off after the New Orleans games. Because again, we're talking about Connor Williams messing up 2 plays a game. Other than that, as far as his blocking abilities, run blocking, pass blocking, he wasn't bad. He was good. Not great, not horrible, good, better than average. He was doing fine there. It was just his penalties was getting to us. And it was a couple of games. And in the last game, to be fair to him, the last game, 2 of them was pure shit penalties. One of them, he fell and they got him for fucking double teaming going low. And the other one was a shit hold. But like Rika said, there's a penalty can be called on holding every play. Every play the referees can call holding. And once you get a target on your back that you've held a lot, they're going to look at you more, and they can call you anytime. They can call you for. And that last holding call you got, not last game, the game before that, that was what it was. It was a nitpick call that they can call ever down, but it's Connor Williams, and they saw it, and they fucking threw the penalty. So. But yeah, but they're going with the same crew this week. Hopefully Tyron Smith will be back, and hopefully that will help them. Having Tyron Smith next to you is better than having Steele next to you. I'll give him that. That will help him tremendously. It's better for you to have Tyron Smith than Steele. But other than that, like I said, I don't know what would happen. We're all guessing what would happen with Connor Williams in there because they all kind of look like they all kind of got the shit beat out of them. But like I said, there was a lot of gut punches up the middle. Like you saw it split, and neither one of Biotish or Montgomery pick them up, and they come straight up the middle. And to me, that's a communication problem that two guys that have not communicated all year together. But we'll see. I'm not going to freak out like other fans do. It was a bad loss. I didn't mind the Denver loss, even though it was an average team. But that's why, because they're not in our same category. They're not up there with us. So when a team like that beats you, like Denver, you can wash that away, saying, "Hey, you ain't ready for them. You wasn't up. You got a little big head. You was feeling too much into yourself." But when you lose against Kansas City, there's really no excuse because you should be up for that game. You should be ready for that game, and you should be fired up for that game. And they just came out flat. Like I said, the whole game, it does. Their Kansas City players look like that game was very, very important in them, which it was. And we just didn't look like it was as important as it was to Kansas City, which it was important to Kansas City because I told everybody before the game, they're going to give it. They're going to go out after us because if they lose that game, they're like teetering on even making the playoffs. Us, I feel like sometimes we go into games thinking, we got a 3-game lead. We're going to make the playoffs, and we play like that. And we got to stop doing that.
Yeah, especially because Philly's starting to play really well now. So that's a little bit concerning. But no, I totally agree with you. And me being involved with the offensive line, coaching offensive line in high school, now I know it's totally different level. And sometimes you can just plug in kids there and they can do the job. But it 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 does matter when you can block right or left. I mean, sometimes you're better positioned blocking right side than you are on the left side. And I feel like Connor McGovern is better as a right guard than he is a left guard. And we saw it during training camp because when he was playing left guard, he was getting pushed back. And then when they put him on the right side, you saw him do a lot better job. Um, so, I mean, it, it works both ways. I think having Terrence Steele as your left tackle didn't help either.
No.
You have Biotage, who's not as strong as a center. You know, he's more finesse. So that puts a lot of pressure on the left guard to do a lot more. And like you said, communication, that is the biggest key to the offensive line. Uh, I mean, we saw Terrence Steele not even move on one of the plays. He just like literally sat there and was like, "What the hell happened?" Like, I mean, it was, and I believe that's the play where Dak fumbled the ball. So,
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, left and right. I'll stress it again. It's hard to go from one side to the next. Not saying you can't do it, and not
No.
saying you can't learn how to do it, but you can't
It's
learn it in a
repetition.
week. Yeah, it's repetition. You gotta like somebody like Zach Martin can move anywhere on the fucking offensive line. He's going to be great. That's just who he is, But not everybody. Zach Martins don't grow on trees, so not
I
everybody
know.
can do what he can do. But yeah, no, cohesiveness was a big thing, and I'll give Kansas City credit. They knew
Yeah.
that. They
Yeah.
stacked that left side of the line, and they blitzed from that spot. They would overload it and just make them decide who they're going to pick and communicate, and the communication failed. So I give Kansas City credit knowing that they had two young guys in there that Steele's only played 2 games there. McGovern never played anything there. They're like, well, let's go after because they're not going to go after Martin and Collins. So they're like, let's
Yeah.
go to the left side and just blitz the shit out from that side and make them make a choice. And they failed. And
Yeah.
some of that's coaching too. The coaching failed, and
That's why I was kind of surprised. Kellen Moore didn't really make any halftime adjustments,
that was his worst play calling I've ever seen.
right? Usually you see that. Okay, we're not doing anything right on the offensive line in the first half. Let's change it up in the second half and let's try to run the ball. I felt like he got away from that, especially with the game not being so far ahead. Um, Tony Pollard is averaging almost 5 yards a game that game. Keep giving him the ball. They were more physical than we were, and they showed it. And I thought that we put too much pressure on Dak Prescott without Amari Cooper. Um, Especially, I mean, because we all seen how Dak functions when he doesn't have someone like Amari Cooper. especially with CeeDee Lamb going out at halftime. What was the year when we had all these no-name receivers? I think,
2018.
yeah. I mean, we saw how Dak was struggling,
This
and it felt
offense. Yo, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, no.
I didn't
It
hear.
felt like it was like it felt like I was reliving that same season before Coop got here.
We can do it without Coop, with Kellen Moore as offense coordinator. With that offense, we couldn't because that was JG's offense and it demanding a number one wide receiver. There was no cuteness to it. There was no you just line up and do your job. Moore can diagram a play up to where you don't have to have a Cooper. What hurt this one is that Cooper went out on Friday. So we game planned all week with Cooper.
That is true. Yeah,
So we had a day to switch everything up. And it's like, all right, we're going to have to do everything different. And you could tell Brown, Wilson, all of them was like, whoa, hey, what is this? Because they was all off. You know, I think if you have a week to prepare without Cooper, it's one thing. It's just, I think that was like I said, Wednesday and Thursday practices, that's your main practices.
Yep.
That was with Cooper. Friday is
you already have the game plan in.
Yeah, your Friday is your little walkthrough and shit like that. And that's when they found out Cooper was going to be there. And it's like, holy shit. So they had to switch everything up in a day, in 24 hours to get ready. And it showed. But like I said, I will say this. Cooper not being on the field had nothing to do with their O-line being like shit. Cooper being on the field, not being on the field had nothing to do with Wilson dropping, Brown dropping, CeeDee Lamb dropping.
Yeah.
And even Dak making some bad passes because he made some bad passes. So it was like the Denver game. That's what I kept saying. They came out flat. I don't know why. I can't explain it. Obviously, they can't either. But
except for the defense. I mean, that's
defense.
That was,
I said it before the game was over. Somewhere in the fourth quarter. I don't give a shit what happens from this point on. Kansas City could have scored 20 more points. I wouldn't care. I am not blaming the defense for this game. The defense is the only fucking reason we even have a chance to win this game. Their first quarter and a half, they was horrible. But they went like six. Hell, they only let them score 3 points the whole second half. I mean, there was a five series stretch where they had 5 stops and 2 turnovers, and we got 3 fucking points out of all that. 5 stops for 2 turnovers and 3 points. That's inexcusable by the offense. And it goes from everything. It goes from Kellen to Mike to Dak to the offensive line to the receivers. I'd blame the running backs, but somebody pointed something out to me. I was like, you're right. Can't blame the running backs because I'm a running backs don't matter guy anyways. So they're depending upon their offensive line. And if their offensive line sucks, they ain't doing anything. And if their quarterback is sucking and they're not respecting our pass, running backs ain't going to do shit. But I do agree with you about Pollard. And we was in a chat together in about midway through the third quarter. I think it was Bluff that brought up they need to just maybe it was Eric because Eric loves Pollard. They need to just keep Pollard in there. His ankle was hurt anyways. Keep him out and just let Pollard because Pollard was actually knocking off some yards every once in a while.
Yeah.
But overall, man, Kansas City just outplayed us. We can make excuses up and talk about how bad we played. I got to give them some credit. They saw a weakness in our offensive line and said, hey, let's exploit it. And they fucking exploited the shit out of it. And Moore didn't do nothing to correct it. Dak didn't do nothing to correct it. We just sat there and let it happen all game.
I can say this, though. I'd rather it happen during the regular season than us playing in a playoff game and this happened and us losing a game like this in the playoffs. So, this is a learn from experience type of moment for our guys. And I hope that, come playoff time, we can make the right adjustments in halftime or third quarter or whatever quarter it is and correct those and move forward and make sure we do end up correcting these mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, it just I'll go back to the 1992 Cowboys because that team had not won no Super Bowls yet that year.
Yeah.
Through 11 weeks, we had lost 2 games. One to Philly, 31-7, got mollywopped, by a less superior team. Then we played the Los Angeles Rams and got beat barely 27-23. And I think the Rams that year finished 4-12 or some bullshit. I can't remember what their record was. Finished 6-10. That's why they finished that year. And we got beat by them. So it happens. and that was a great team. That was, and back then, that's before the salary cap. So your upper echelon teams, they was superior to the other teams. Now your upper echelon teams, they're not far away from the bottom teams. Everything's a little bit closer in the NFL now, and you see it every week. I mean, it's like fuck, Green Bay lost against Minnesota. I
Yep.
mean, that's and my thing is the Cowboy fans or Green Bay fans talking shit about Aaron Rodgers right now. Are they
Right.
saying that we should fire the coaches? Are they panicking? I mean, it's one of them things, and my point is they probably are. That it's just that's how that's what we do. But at the end of the day, nobody really did shit this week except Cardinals won and got a game. Did a little better. Now they're 2 games or a game ahead, whatever you want to call it, with tiebreakers shit. That's the only thing that's really happened. Other than that, we're kind of in the same spot we was before we went into the Kansas City game. So I mean, like I said, it's upsetting, but when you look around the league and you see other teams losing too, I'm not saying it should make you feel better. Just understand that this is the NFL. It's not like it was years ago where you could just dominate. There's
Yeah.
no team in the NFL right now that's pulling away saying, because I keep hearing Cowboy fans saying we're not ready. This game showed we're not ready. Did the Green Bay game against Minnesota show that they're not ready? The Buffalo game against Jacksonville, or whoever they played last week, did it show them that they're not ready? No team is showing right now that, hey, we're the team to beat. No team. The Cardinals have an argument to say that. That's the only team. Other than
Yeah.
that, we can't say that. We can't say we're the team to beat, but we can make an argument just as good as Green Bay can, just as good as Buffalo can, just as good as Ravens can, just as good as fucking name that team. I mean,
Tampa Bay has the same record
yeah,
we
Tampa
do.
Bay. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. We're all just kind of bunched up, and nobody is really saying, "Hey, fucking here we are. We're pulling away. You're going to be chasing us." Nobody said that yet. No, they're all just kind of bunched up and losing some game. Bucks lost against the goddamn Washington football team. I mean, man, I'm 48. It's so hard for me not to
Bro,
bring that.
I keep doing that all the time. All the
Yeah.
time.
I always call Chargers San Diego. I still say
Yep.
that. So yeah, but like I said, it's upsetting it's loss, and I said on Twitter, it's embarrassing. This was more embarrassing to me than the Denver game, just because I could watch the Denver game in ways like, hey, we got a big head. There was no reason
Yeah.
for that in this game. We should have been prepared for this game. So, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how we do 2 days from now. I keep forgetting we're about to play again.
Wow, I know. Big game.
Absolutely. So we've got DeMarcus Lawrence activated off of injured reserve. We've got a defense that is looking fantastic considering how many backups are actually out there playing. I thought that the defense did great on Sunday. I thought it was phenomenal that they held Kansas City where they did. But let's talk about Micah Parsons. I mean, damn, right?
Ooh.
Damn. This kid has no chill. He does not stop. 8 sacks on the season. On Sunday, he had 2 sacks and one that was kind of I don't think it was officially recorded as a sack, but yeah, it was kind of a sack. They recorded it as a tackle for loss. 12 pressures in total. Interestingly enough, I mean, he's been so versatile. We've used him everywhere, and he's been excellent every place that you put him. Eric Berger's not in the chat tonight. He would be yelling at me, stop putting Micah Parsons on the edge. Shut up, Eric. I like Micah Parsons on the edge. I like him all over the place. And so at a 27% pass rush win rate, which he hasn't taken enough snaps to actually be eligible for that leaderboard, but he's up there with Myles Garrett, so he's doing pretty damn good. What do you guys think? Talk to me about Micah Parsons. How much do you love him?
It's all you, buddy.
Well, when Dallas was actually on the clock before they made that trade, and we all saw both corners gone, I was like, okay, we better get Micah Parsons. And everybody thought I was crazy. They're like, no, we need to get Slater. Tyron Smith is gonna, he's not, he's not gonna make it through the whole season.
You have
But
two
I'm
of them right
like,
here.
you know what? I understand, but I also understand developing offensive linemen. So, and I know it takes an off season, a year to improve. So that wasn't our biggest weakness. And I know last year seeing Jalen Smith, Leighton Vander Esch, the way they played last season, really made this defense um or made everybody, or showed how bad this defense was. Um Granted, we didn't have the defensive line, but I mean, Leighton Vander Esch, how many missed tackles did he have last season? Jalen Smith, how many bad angles and how many times did he get blocked? Uh, so I thought Micah Parsons was a perfect fit for this team. I didn't think he was going to be the edge rusher that he is, to be honest with you, but his
Right.
speed is just absolutely amazing, and it's crazy because when you see him get out of position, he is so fast that he's quick to get back to make the play, and you rarely see that in a defensive player. Um, Now, there's a lot of people questioning whether we should keep him on the edge or whether we should just keep him in the linebacker position. I say do whatever Dan Quinn tells you. Let's not put a label on him. If he wants him to rush the passer the whole game, let him rush the passer the whole game. But let's look at those 4 sacks that he created up the middle. I mean, we can't forget about those either. And he's also very good against the run. He is great uh, at getting past the guards and getting in between the gaps and making tackles for losses. That is big for our linebacking group that Leighton Vander Esch doesn't have. And we saw that against Kansas City. I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me what was how many yards did Kansas City run up against us this week?
Oh, I don't know. Charlie, do you remember? Charlie, look it up.
I believe it's like a little over 100 yards.
Yeah, we'll let Charlie look it up while he does that. Talking about about that draft pick, and I was so mad. And the thing is, I never doubted Micah Parsons athletically. I knew
Right.
he was going to be phenomenal. I had some character concerns. I know now that I was 100% wrong. I might have allegedly called him the unholy draft pick in writing in my blog on my website, RikaMovesTheChains.com. I owe Micah Parsons an apology. He's been fantastic. I was big on Slater. I was pounding the table for Slater, and I had
And
Nick
he's not playing
Bolton.
well. He's not playing bad at all.
Yeah, I had
Slater
Nick
is
Bolton
everything.
on my radar. And so now, having seen Slater play this year and now having seen Nick Bolton play, I know that had it gone my way with Slater and Nick Bolton, I would still be happy, but I'm not at all mad at Micah Parsons. I think he's fantastic. I'm glad we got him. So, but I wouldn't have been, now that I've seen them, I know that my thinking, and I tend to doubt myself sometimes, my thinking going into that draft with the, what would Rika do, wasn't 100% wrong. I had good things in my sights now that I've seen those players play. So I feel better this year's draft, maybe speaking a little bit more, being a little bit more opinionated than I was last year. Charlie, what do
And
you
let
got? Do you find those?
I didn't like the Micah pick. That you got to understand, I'm an analytical guy, and linebackers, off the ball linebackers, or like running backs to me, they're easy replaceable. Now, if you would have told me what Micah was going to do, if you told me Dan Quinn was going to put him fucking everywhere on the football field, then my
Right?
opinion would have been different. But as far as a pure off the ball linebacker, I'm not taking that guy that early in the draft. But since we've done him different, I'm totally fucking happy with the pick. As far as putting him on the edge or putting him at linebacker, like Rocky said, my old co-host, he's big, letting him just stay in the middle and rush the middle. Like you said, he created 4. That's what Eric keeps trying to tell people. Look what he does when he blitzes up the middle. And he does. He creates
He
havoc.
does.
But look what he does when he rushes from the edge. He creates havoc. So my point
Right?
is like fucking Caesar.
Can we
cares?
clone him?
Who
Don't
cares?
fucking yeah. Don't fucking like
If he
Caesar
wants to
said.
play safety, let his ass
Mhm.
play safety. I
Yeah.
mean, if he
Does
wants to
Micah
play corner,
Parsons, does
go
Micah
play
Parsons
corner.
have a younger brother somewhere out there?
Yeah, just like Caesar said, don't pigeonhole him. Put him everywhere. Don't let the defense know, okay, he's going to be here every play. Let
Right.
him play linebacker. Let him fucking cover. Let him stop the run. Let him blitz the A and B gaps. Put him on the edge. Let him fucking blitz. Let him drop in coverage from the A gap. I mean, from the edge, thinking that he's going to come. There's just so much shit you can do with him because the dude just can do everything. And I believe that fucker can. I think you can put him out on the slot corner and he can play slot. He can play the dude. I mean, he runs a 4.3, so speed. He ain't lacking speed. Maybe some tight hips a little bit, but other than that, I mean, he can play anywhere on the fucking football field. So yeah, no, I'm not putting him on the edge, and I'm not keeping him at off the ball linebacker. I'm at putting him wherever is best for the defense for that game. And if it means him rushing a little bit more from the edge, then do that. If it means him playing a little bit more off the ball linebacker, then do that. And we're about to get 94 and 90 back. We're about to get our two defense ends back. And once they come back,
Yes.
it's going to be you can put Mike. You can do so much with Mike.
What do you guys think of
you can rush him.
DeMarcus?
Go ahead, Cesar.
What do you think of DeMarcus Lauren playing the 3 technique?
That's what I was just about to say.
Dude,
I just about to say when D-Law comes back, you can move on passing situations. You can move D-Law into the 3 tech. You can move Micah at the edge, have Randy as your other edge, and you can have fucking Osa as your 1.
Oh,
that you can create so much shit when they come back, and you can do all kinds of different shit when them 2 guys come back. I love D-Law at the 3.
I think I just got a hard on.
Yeah, Rod, that's got a little chub, all right. Rod Marinelli used to do that. He used to put D-Law from a 3, and I've always said,
Welcome to my show. My mother's proud.
I was more impressed with D-Law at the 3 tech pass rushing than I always been from him at defensive end. He is great at rushing.
Not only is he good at rushing, but he's got such a great knack for stopping the run.
Yeah,
that's why him being on the 3 technique or even on the edge is going to help the run defense so much. And that's also something that I've noticed at our team the last couple games kind of lacked in stopping the run is Brett Urban. Brett Urban. Actually, you can see how much we're missing him noticeably for stopping the run. He's not a big name or a big name guy that we all know or that makes millions of dollars for what he does, but he does the job good enough that it's unnoticeable. And I think we're missing him. And once we get him back, it's going to help the linebackers create more havoc against the run.
Yeah, me and Marcus said that on Keeping the Jones Saturday that nobody's mentioning Urban. And like you said, I don't think nobody thought about this, but he was a big clog in stopping the run. He's really fucking good at stopping the run. And with him out, I mean, it's just, and we do have a lot of injuries. And at first, at halftime, I kind of used the injuries as an excuse until the second half. I thought, well, I can't use them as an excuse because the ones who have the most injuries is a defense, and they played the best. The ones who didn't have that many injuries, just missing 2 people, they look like shit. So the defense has stepped up, and that's what I keep telling people. Once we get everybody back, think about this. Going into the Washington Reds, there we go again. What the fuck team? Once we go into that game, we'll have Randy, we have Gregory back, we have D-Law back, we have Urban back, we'll have Gallimore back. Nobody's even talked about Gallimore. Then we'll have Osa, then we'll have Ham, then we'll have fucking Watkins. I mean, it's just going to be that front is going to be.
And you've seen flashes. And you've seen flashes of Tristan Hill. Tristan Hill is actually
Tristan Hill. That's another one.
He's creating some havoc out there.
Yes,
I mean,
no, he's done well since he's came back.
Little violent guy.
So I mean, the defense is only going to get better. We just got to hope that our offense gets back to what they were the first 8 games of the season.
Yeah, I can't believe. Like I said, if you told me we held Kansas City, our defense held Kansas City under 20 points before this game, I'd be like, shit.
I'll take that
walk away with this.
I'll take that all day.
And then we lose. You're like, holy shit. How did that happen? But it is what it is. We'll bounce back, hopefully. And
oh yeah.
Well, the good thing is Las Vegas, they don't have the receivers that they had in the beginning of the season. So there's no one really that scares me offensively other than Waller. But even Waller hasn't even played well this season. So Um, Javon Curse
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
I think he's been such a great addition to this team. Um,
Hmm.
I had no idea who he was, honestly, when they signed him. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Um, you know, guy's gonna get cut, and lo and behold, he's probably one of the leaders of this defense.
Yeah, Bluff City Cowboys on Marcus and Professor O, Matt Owen. They both sold me during the offseason when we signed him. They both sold me on him because I was like you. I knew who he was. I just didn't have a lot of info on him. And so they bragged him up and propped him up. So I went and checked him out, and I'm like, yeah, he's going to be good. I think he'll do good, but I didn't expect him to do this good. I didn't see this coming. So yeah,
All right. So we've got a game in just 2 days. Thanksgiving is 2 days away. So you know what? Let's do some real quick predictions today. Do you guys want to play Bluff's over under game real quick?
You
Just a
want to
little
steal it
bit?
from him? Bluff, we're
Yeah,
stealing
let's
your
steal it
shit.
from him. Marcus loves it when I steal his shit.
Oh,
Um, okay. Uh, all right. Thanksgiving Day against the Raiders. Micah Parsons over under 2 sacks. Caesar?
well, considering the offensive line is still young for the Raiders, I'm gonna say over.
Or
I'm gonna go over. I think he's pissed, just like we all are, and the Lions hungry, so he's gonna have
yes.
himself a field day.
Yes. Charlie Parsons over under 2 sacks.
I'll go under, but that's not
Okay.
a smash on him. That's just I think it's going to be a little different in this game. I think they'll use him a little different.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Michael Gallup over under 50 yards.
Well, this will depend on whether CD Lamb plays or not. Uh, I just think I'm gonna go with over, just because Amari Cooper is gonna be out, and they are playing at home. It seems like Michael Gallup plays better at home on turf than he does outdoors. For some reason, um, he just catches the ball with his body, and it seems like outdoors kind of affects him more on that situation. So, and he just loves playing at home too. So, I'm gonna go over.
I'll go over.
Okay. Um, the secondary as a whole unit, over under 2 interceptions.
Well, it is Derek Carr,
Mhm.
so I'm gonna go over.
Who do you think gets them?
I'm gonna go with KZ. He's gonna get his first interception,
Nice.
and hopefully Anthony Brown. I think teams are starting to not throw against Diggs, as we saw the last game. Um, and you know, but whoever gets it, I'm happy.
I'll probably agree with Delente. I'll probably go push here.
Okay.
I think two is probably a magic number. Yeah, I think yeah,
Two.
two.
All right. What's the score? Give it to me. What do you guys think?
Oh
Caesar?
shit, I haven't even thought about it.
Oh
I
damn!
haven't thought about it either. That's why I started with Caesar so
I
I
mean,
have time to get my shit together.
we just yeah, I know. Damn. It's kind of weird because the Thanksgiving games are either blowouts on our end or blowouts against us. So, um, man, it's been a while since we won a big game on Thanksgiving. So, and I feel like the team is like, I feel like they're pissed off and they want to fuck shit up this weekend. So, I'm gonna go with we're gonna put some 40 burgers up this weekend, and we're gonna win 40. I'm gonna say 40-10.
40 30-10. Charlie?
I'll go 38-23.
38-23. I wrote down 31-9 when Caesar was talking. 31-9 Cowboys.
Yeah,
We're
I
going to
like
win by
that.
less than 10 points just because of injuries and question mark. That's what the lunatic says.
I
I
just
think
don't think. Honestly, I don't see the Raiders' offense scaring me. They put up less than 20 points the last 3 weeks, so
Hmm.
they just got so much shit going on in that
They do. I feel
organization.
bad for those guys.
Um,
We got some
it,
shit
and it's
going
and
on.
it sucks because Henry Ruggs was actually coming on his own this year, and he looked like a number one pick or a first round pick. So it just looks
Mhm.
bad for them. Um, the only thing that scares me is their defensive line. If I had to be worried about one thing, is that defensive line, they have a motor, and they're coached by Rob Marinelli, so he wants to come into Dallas and he wants to wreck shit too. So it's gonna be a good game. I just hope it's a better game on our end.
Stephen White says 28-17 Cowboys. I'll write that down, Stephen.
I'll take that too.
you guys asking earlier about the Chiefs running game. They put up 126 yards, but 33 of them was one run by Tyreek Hill, that sweep. If you take that 33, they got less than 100 yards against us.
Okay.
They averaged 4.8 yards with that. So if you take that 33.0 yards per carry Tyreek Hill had, they averaged less than 4 yards a carry against us. So we did
Okay.
decent against the run.
I just see Leighton Vander as he hasn't been playing well, and I know he's definitely out after this season. I just feel a lot better when Michael Parsons is at middle linebacker. But like I said, let's just put him wherever and just have him wreck shit.
Yes. All right. Andrew Lunsford says 35-14 to Lunatic 24-16. I got you guys written down. All right, everybody, we're nearing the end. Hey, listen up. If you came in late, do me a favor. After you're done, go back, watch the first 10 minutes of this episode. Listen to my guy Caesar talk, listen to his story. It's amazing. You're not going to regret a single minute of it. Make sure to give him a follow on Twitter at Big C's and check out his website, CesarLucero.com. And his Twitter handle, his website are in the ticker right down there. Also, guys, don't forget about the Share to Win giveaway. We're going to announce winners next Tuesday on the Rika Moves the Chain show with Bluff Cowboy as our guest. And all you got to do to win is share this video, share any video from DCU channel to social media, tag me at Chains Moving or Rika Moves the Chains on Facebook. And that's all you got to do. That's your entry. And we'll have two winners next week. And the Lunatic is going to buy you the t shirt of your choice from twistedgorilla.com. And I'm sure that we will be using coupon code RIKA15 to get 15% off of those prizes. Don't forget to use that code. Holidays are coming up. They've got great stuff. Caesar, tell these folks where they can find you. I kind of told them already, but let them know again.
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter at Big C's, or just go to www.cesarlucero.com. At Instagram, also at Caesar Inspires or Caesar underscore Inspires as well.
Awesome.
I put the link also in the chat so y'all can find it in the
Yep.
chat too.
So yeah, if you guys go to my website, all my social media links are on there as well.
Okay. Charlie, tell these people where they can find you so that they can avoid those places, please.
Dallas Cowboys Uncensored everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
All right, guys, and don't forget you can find me on Twitter at Chains Moving. You can catch me on Facebook, Rika Moves the Chains. Also, check out my site. Eventually, I'm going to get a minute to write another blog, but go check it out anyway. RikaMovesTheChains.com. I'm right here on this channel every Tuesday night at 7 Central. And we're on Saturday nights with Keeping Up with the Joneses at 8 p.m. Central, except not this Saturday. We're taking a break because of the holiday, but We'll be back here next week, Tuesday night. Bluff City Cowboy Marcus D. Jones will be on this show. We'll be doing the New Orleans Saints pregame.
I
So
love the lunatic's comment right there. Save
Yeah.
me some turkey for leftovers for para tamales. Yeah, my mom's Mexican, so I know about them tamales.
tamales. It's not the
Oh,
holidays in Texas without tamales, right?
oh, for real.
All right, guys. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving. Be safe.
Caesar,
And
stay on here. Don't go out after we get off.
No,
We'll talk.
all right, sounds good, man.
thank
Hey,
you
thank you guys,
all.
all
Yes.
all my fans or all the fans out here. I appreciate you guys. Let me tell my story, and yeah, definitely check me out if you guys want to send me a message. Feel free, and have a happy and safe Thanksgiving.
Definitely. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Y'all be safe.